Hello again. Just if you're wondering what this is the instructions for, or the timings for Christmas Day dinner, and we still haven't rubbed them down. I'm not sure why. Maybe just to prove the accomplishment of catering for 10 people for the very first time on Christmas Day. Oh, yes. Anyway, it's there. You can try and read it if you want. There's nothing interesting. I wanted to make a quick video about something that's sort of, well, it's been in the news for a long time now. When I say a long time, in this kind of climate that we're in, a few months, but still, that feels like a long time these days. And it's an interesting topic. I've touched on it a bit before in previous videos. It's to do with the sexual harassment allegations. And as I've spoken about before, I have been a victim of sexual abuse a long time ago now, 10 years ago. I'm not going to go into the story again, but it wasn't pleasant, and yeah, it was horrible. I was in a relationship and someone abused me in the relationship. Now, I think, first of all, let me just say, I think that the movement at the moment of actually listening to victims, listening to their story, taking action as well, is fantastic. And how wonderful a world it is that we are doing this. And I can only imagine it's a reaction to Trump being president. You know, the fact that someone with as many allegations against him can be the president of one of the leading countries in the world, one of the biggest countries in the world, is horrendous and disgusting and makes me so angry. And I think this is a reaction to that. At least I think it began that way. And I think the power that is being given to the voices of those that have been abused, both men and women, is just wonderful. Finally. But we need to be careful. As the saying goes, with power comes responsibility, and with great power comes great responsibility. And I think that we do need to be careful how we use this power. We can't wag our finger at every single individual man. It should be a cultural change, not an individual change. By which I mean, if someone grabs my ass on the tube, I'm going to be like, don't grab my ass, that's inappropriate, I don't accept that, stop it, sure. But I'm not going to then go, I'm not going to find out his name and then go on Facebook and start preaching about how this man grabbed my ass. Because I don't want to ruin his life over one ass grab. I want to change the world and stop all of the groping, all the inappropriate groping, all of the assaults and the harassment and the abuse. I don't want to destroy each individual life. I want to change lives for the better. I want that person to see the error of their ways. And I don't want to stoop so low as to make them feel as bad as I felt. I want them to understand how I feel and change their behaviour accordingly. I want them to learn. I want them to grow. I want them to succeed in their attempts to change. Me telling them how awful they are and ruining their life is not going to inspire them. It is going to turn them against me and turn them against the voices and the movement. And I think we need to be careful. There have been a couple of instances recently in the press where one accuser has come out about an alleged incident, and I'm going to particularly reference one, which is against Aziz Ansari. Now, I've read the accuser's account of what happened. I've read the response that Aziz Ansari has given on a couple of occasions. And I believe that definitely something happened. definitely his behaviour was inappropriate and unacceptable, and he does need to learn from that, and he does need to change his behaviour. But I also question what actually happened in the woman's mind as all of this was going on. And I question her motives in releasing this story when, as far as I can see from the correspondence that happened the day after the incident, it seemed like it was kind of acknowledged, accepted, dealt with, and apologised for. And she seemed happy with that for a long time until suddenly she's not now content with that. Now, that's fine if she's not content with that. But the way that this has been framed, the way that it is written, is very damning of a person who, so far, and this may all change, but so far has had no other accusers come out, has had no other sort of shady history that we know of. And yet the world has already decided to condemn him. So he is now part of this group, the Weinsteins, the Spaceys, apparently the Francos of the world. He is now part of that group, the Louis C.K.'s. He is now grouped in with that. And at the moment, it doesn't seem like he quite deserves that. Now, let me repeat myself. He did not behave appropriately, and if he had behaved like that to me, I am sure I would be upset. I am sure that I may even go as far as to say that I was traumatized by it. And I would never seek to question how she dealt with it in the moment, because I know how hard it is to escape when you are in that situation. I've been there. I've not known how to escape, and I can't even satisfactorily answer the question why I went back to that situation after finally leaving. I can't answer that. If I can't answer that, how can I dare judge how she dealt with it in the moment? My questions are how she's dealt with it since. And I do think we have a responsibility as victims. Unfortunately, the responsibility, as always, seems to fall on us. But not a responsibility for what happened to us. That happened, and that is not our fault. But how we deal with it afterwards is our responsibility. Now, we can destroy people, we can ruin lives, and in some cases that is necessary. But we need to be able to look at things as objectively as possible and try and see whether this is something that is worth destroying a person's entire reputation over, or whether there is a more satisfying and thought out conclusion that we can come to. Now, the person who abused me, I have a lot of anger for. I have a lot of pain, and I'm still not able to fully deal with everything that happened. But I don't want to destroy his life. Sometimes I do, in my moments of pure anger that I have towards him that occasionally consume me. I want to destroy him in those moments, sure. But in my rational mind, in the moments where I am able to think clearly and think about the bigger picture outside of myself, I don't. I want him to understand what he did to me. I want him to learn from it. I want him to never treat another woman that way ever again. But I don't want to destroy him. He is somebody's son. He is somebody's best friend. He doesn't deserve, or they don't deserve, the pain that that would cause. I don't want to create more pain. I want to make things better. And the only way that I do that is to start a dialogue, to start a conversation for him to understand what he did was wrong and that I don't want it to ever happen again. But I'm not going to publicly shame him. I've never mentioned his name in these videos. I never intend to. Because that doesn't get me anywhere, and that doesn't get the world anywhere, and it doesn't change anything. And in the case of this Aziz Ansari, at the moment, and I'd say that with great clarity, at the moment it appears to have been one occasion. Now probably he's acted this way with other people, and maybe they minded, maybe they didn't. But he does need to learn that this is not okay, and he does need to change. But it doesn't seem like it is part of his personality to treat women badly. He doesn't seem to think that women are there for his amusement only. The way it reads to me is that he wanted sex, she wanted something else. That happens a lot. That doesn't mean that she was wrong. Initially, that doesn't mean that he was wrong. He went wrong when he carried on despite her saying no. That's where he went wrong. And I'm glad she got out of there before it went any further than it did. But as I say, I think we need to be responsible about how we tell our stories. I think we need to really think about the consequences of telling our stories and what we hope to get out of that. Yes, I want to protect women. Yes, I want women to be able to speak out. But I also don't want to condemn people because of my one story, my one experience. Now, if I found out that 25 other women had also been abused by the same person who abused me, then I would say, let's go and take some action. But me on my own, this far gone, this 10 years later, I don't know. It just doesn't seem to me that it would make anything better. I don't think it'd even make me feel better. Aziz Ansari didn't break the law. He behaved appallingly, but he didn't break the law. So he needs to learn, he needs to change, he needs to grow, as many of us do. We are all fallible, we are all responsible for how we use what we've learned over the last few months and move forward. But I don't know if, from what I've heard so far, I don't know whether it all needs to be over for him. It's a difficult one, and I, like everyone else, seem to still be trying to catch up and trying to figure out how we feel about everything. But I kind of wanted to put my feelings today on record. They may well change. If they do change, I will put another video up. But for now, this is what I think. Please let me know what you think. Write in the comments below. Subscribe if you want to hear more of my opinions, or even if you don't, just subscribe. And please like this video if you agree with me. Yeah, that's it for now. Alright, I'll see you again soon. Bye.